Hello once again and welcome to That's English.
Hello there.
Ashley, what are you reading?
Well, I'm reading From Earth to the Moon, which was written by Jules Verne in 1865.
What's the story about?
It's about a group of American war veterans who decide to build a huge cannon to send men to the moon.
Ah, yes, it's amazing how many things Jules Verne predicted in his novels. At that time, it was science fiction.
And today, many of his ideas have become reality, as we're going to see in today's documentary.
As you watch, try to answer this question. What do creative people need in order to make their inventions real?
Let's see.
It was Jules Verne's submarine, the Nautilus, featured in his book 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, published in 1870, which first really interested the public in the idea of undersea transport. Inventor Simon Lake was so impressed by how real Verne's submarine looked that by 1898, his own submarine, Argonaut 1, was at sea. But this is not the only time stories have inspired real life. Many other examples come from science fiction, or sci-fi, as it is often called. We asked Stacey Brown, a publisher at science fiction publishing house Zing, which major inventions have been inspired by science fiction.
In his novel of 1914, The World Set Free, H.G. Wells invented man-made atomic energy. Physicist Leo Szilard was inspired by this in 1933 to solve the problem of creating a nuclear chain reaction. In the 1960s, the science fiction TV show Star Trek introduced a device called the communicator, which looked incredibly like mobile phones.
Sci-fi ideas that we find impossible today will be reality tomorrow.
Flexible e-paper. The concept was first mentioned in 1995 in the novel The Diamond Age, and then in the film Minority Report. E-paper can be used for interactive newspapers, which can be rolled up and put in our pockets.
Science fiction writers are never afraid to predict the future.
By the end of the 21st century, we'll have colonized the moon and maybe some planets. But I don't think we'll have invented teleportation yet.
Scotty, we got the beam. Team to beam up.
The process of instantaneous transportation, in which matter is dematerialized in one place and recreated in another, as in Star Trek.
This process of fiction leading to fact is actually quite logical. Often, creative people are very inventive, but they need the technical ability of the scientists to turn their inventions into reality.
People will be living much longer thanks to genetic engineering. And a robot will be doing all the housework for us.
It's clear that it's very important that scientists keep watching all the latest science fiction films, reading the books and the comics. How we live in the future could depend on it.
So, man-made atomic energy, e-paper, and even mobile phones were all inspired by science fiction novels or TV shows like Star Trek.
Isn't it interesting? Now let's look at the answer to our question. What do creative people need in order to make their inventions real?
Let's just see it again.
This process of fiction leading to fact is actually quite logical. Often, creative people are very inventive, but they need the technical ability of the scientists to turn their inventions into reality.
So the answer is that creative people need the technical ability of scientists to make their inventions real.
Yes, they work together.
But predictions about the future aren't only about technology and scientific advances. Science fiction writers also predict political and social changes.
Let's hear some predictions about the future from around the world. We asked, what do you think life in your country will be like in 100 years' time?
Let's have a look.
I believe in 100 years' time, England is going to be a huge technical environment with iPads and laptops and phones everywhere. I don't believe anybody will be communicating face to face.
New Zealand will probably be quite populated. We have a large amount of land with not a huge population and a lot of immigrants coming. So I assume that New Zealand will probably be quite populated in 100 years.
In 100 years' time, I think in Canada, technology will be really important with the way it's developing and how cold Canada is. During the wintertime especially, people won't want to leave their homes. And in 100 years' time, I think they won't have to, with how technology is going to advance and the way we can communicate with one another without actually having to leave your house when it's minus 20 degrees outside.
Life in England in 100 years' time will be very, very different. I don't think there'll be as many jobs, so there'll be more leisure. People will look and sound different because England takes in people from all around the world. We live together, we mingle, we get married, and we will look and act completely differently.
In 100 years' time, I would hope that America would have more of a social balance, less of a difference between the very, very wealthy and the very, very poor.
I would like it to be peaceful. I would like it to be a lot more advanced than at the point they are now. Bigger contribution to the world and more money and more housing as well for everybody.
India would be one of the world superpowers. Of course, people will be living in skyscrapers.
I'm sure the Indian man is right. There will be a change in the world's powers. Countries like India, Brazil and China will become even more important.
And now it's time for That's Britain. In today's episode, we visit the town of Plymouth.
In 1620, the Pilgrim Fathers set sail for America from Plymouth to find a new world, America.
And, as you'll see, many other famous people also set sail from Plymouth.
While you watch, try and answer this question. What attracts visitors to Plymouth according to Annette?
Hello. Today I'm in Plymouth on the border between Devon and Cornwall. The port of Devonport, which is part of Plymouth, is the largest naval base in Western Europe.
Plymouth was bombed by the Germans in World War II because of its importance as a naval base. The city centre was completely destroyed and then rebuilt after the war.
These are the Mayflower Steps, and it was here in 1620 that the Pilgrim Fathers set sail for America. They were looking for a new world where they could be free to practice their religion. In 1831, Charles Darwin left here on his ship Beagle to start his survey of the Galapagos Islands, from which he wrote The Origin of Species. This is called Smeaton's Tower, built as a lighthouse in 1759, though now it's a tourist attraction. I've got Michael with me here just now, and we're right on the seafront here at Plymouth. Michael, can you tell me what Plymouth is famous for?
Apart from our donuts and churros, is our hospitality. Yeah, we're famous for our waterfront. It doesn't get any better than that waterfront. If you take a little visit up onto the Hole, yeah, we have some fantastic events here. Yeah, it is just, we've got the Mayflower Steps just behind us. There's so much here to see.
How about the famous people?
Sir Francis Drake is by far our biggest name here, yeah.
Plymouth loves Sir Francis Drake, and out there is Drake's Island. Plymouth Hoe is where Drake set sail in 1577 on his round-the-world voyage in the ship the Golden Hind.
I'm with Annette, who lives in Plymouth and has done so since the 1970s. She came here from Australia. Annette, what is it about Plymouth that draws visitors here?
I think we're lucky because we've got beautiful weather being in the southwest. We've got a unique heritage and history which is really, really rich. And we have just so many famous people here. We've got Sir Francis Drake, you've got Conan Doyle, you've got Beryl Cook, the artist.
Plymouth seems a very historical place.
Yes, it is. We have many, many buildings which are still in their original state, such as the Citadel up the hill, the Mayflower Steps just behind you, and in fact this area that we're in now is Britain's largest cobbled area.
Plymouth was a door to new worlds, in the same way that the space stations of science fiction are doors to the new world of our imagination.
Well, that's all for today. Next time, we're off to Salisbury Plain. So see you then. Bye.
Plymouth really is a town full of history.
Imagine Francis Drake set sail from there around the world and Darwin left for the Galapagos Islands.
So, did you get the answer to the question?
What attracts visitors to Plymouth, according to Annette?
Let's watch it again.
I think we're lucky because we've got beautiful weather being in the southwest. We've got a unique heritage and history which is really, really rich. And we have just so many famous people here.
So the answer is Plymouth has got beautiful weather, a unique heritage, history, and some famous people.
So that's another place that we should visit, Annabelle.
Oh, if only we had the time. So that's the end of today's programme. We look forward to seeing you soon for the next That's English. Goodbye.
Yes, goodbye. See you soon.